Hi there, these comments are for BN, and this is my free TOEFL speaking evaluation service. You can send me one speaking practice test for free, and like I'm doing right here, I'll listen to it, sometimes even 2 times, and I'll give you an estimated score and why you received the score you did. I will base my score on the TOEFL IBT integrated speaking rubrics right here. Okay, here we go.
We all know that babies cry when other baby cry, and
We all know that babies cry when others' babies cry. What are we talking about here? Who is saying this? And we don't all know this. Now, if you're explaining a lecture, you'll say, in the lecture, the speaker explains blah, 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 and then gives 1 or 2 examples to support this point. So you can't just start off saying, we all know that babies cry. Because if this is an integrated speaking task, we need to know how this connects to either a reading or a listening passage. Give me some context, my friend.
in one experiment, the researcher played a tape of
In one experiment, or the professor explains an experiment in which
another kid or another baby crying to another baby, and
another baby was crying, right? Another baby was crying, and then when the other baby heard the other baby crying, that baby also started to cry.
that baby cried. And however, when this researcher
No, and however. So be careful about a lot of pauses and a lot of hesitations.
played a tape of the same baby crying, this baby did not cry, because he wasn't upset hearing himself crying, and this led to the researcher to believe that babies maybe feel empathy to other kids, so they to other babies,
So the example indicates, according to the professor, that babies are able to show empathy to other babies.
that's why they
Maybe which is why, blah, blah, blah. If you say which is why, you're using a little bit more advanced grammar. Instead of a separate independent clause, you're now using a dependent clause to connect back to the main idea. That gives you a little bit more syntactic variety, my friend.
cry when other babies cry as well. And that's how why researchers think that babies may feel empathy.
So I think in the beginning you have to explain that idea. You might say in the lecture the speaker explains how babies may feel empathy and gives examples to illustrate this assertion, you might say. Then you go on to talking about the examples. So I think you can probably do better with how you're organizing and developing your ideas. So I think you probably need to you need to structure your ideas in a way that we can see how what you're saying connects to either reading or listening passages. Okay, let me listen to it one more time, then I'll give you a score.
We all know that babies cry when other baby cry, and in one experiment, the researcher played a tape of another kid or another baby crying to another baby, and that baby cried. And however, when this researcher played a tape of the same baby crying, this baby did not cry, because he wasn't upset hearing himself crying, and this led to the researcher to believe that babies maybe feel empathy to other kids, so they to other babies, so that's why they cry when other babies cry as well. And that's how why researchers think that babies may feel empathy.
Okay, so I look at the rubrics here, right? So we have the integrated speaking rubrics. If you look at the two under delivery, this is where I think you fit right now. It says speech may not be sustained at a consistent level throughout. It wasn't. You kind of lost your way. You repeated some things unnecessarily. You put some conversation fillers in there to help kind of smooth out everything. You didn't speak at a very consistent level throughout your response. Okay, so I think that's a problem. In the topic development area, we have response contains some relevant information. I think here, typically ideas expressed may not be well connected or cohesive, so the familiarity with the stimulus is necessary to follow what is being discussed. So it means that I would need to listen to the lecture really to get the complete picture. Just listening to what you said, I don't think is enough. I don't think that you fully covered all the necessary bases to explain the ideas. So I think based on that, I'm going to put your score at about, I'm going to say maybe 19 to 20 points out of 30. That's where I'm going to put you right now because of some problems with delivery and also topic development.